Jesus died, when he died, the Bible said in Ephesians that he died and he descended. He said, he that ascended, first of all, did what? Descended. So there was a death before ascension, before resurrection. So Jesus died consciously. And while he was on the grave, it did not just happen that he was just there. There was a process. The Bible made us to understand that victory came. That Jesus entered into the very presence of the wicked, of the enemy, and he took the authority, the powers. And Jesus brought the same thing to us. So what happens is that during the process when Jesus was on the grave, there was a working of the Spirit at work. Resurrection did not just happen because Jesus died while he walked upon this earth. There was no sin. So when he died, he just resurrected like that. No, there was a work, and it happened to be the power of God. This is what the scripture is telling us now. So the resurrection that Jesus resurrected, it happens that it was the spirit of holiness at work, now the spirit of glory that resurrected Jesus from the grave. We must know what happened the very moment you gave our life to Christ. This thing now, it's the very moment you gave your life to Christ, this whole process begins. It happens to you. But the problem is that many of us we are not aware, we don't know. So we feel that sin is still powerful over us, or sin still have something somewhere in our heart, in our spirit. The very life of God is in you. It's the same thing Apostle Paul began to speak in Romans 6 from verse 1. He also made mention of what happened in verse 4 of it, made mention of what happened to the believer the very moment he gives our life to Christ. In verse 4, he now began to make us to understand that Jesus died, and when we give our life to Christ, to him, we died with him, and he resurrected by the power, by the spirit of glory. And the same thing happens to us the very moment we give our life to Christ. He said we died with him and we are resurrected with him, and he said we are resurrected into newness of life. From verse 1, he now began to make us understand. He said, how come this kind of thing will happen to you and you still begin to respond to sin? And it seems like sin is more powerful. Verse 1, he now began to say, that's why he said, shall we continue to live in sin? Just because there is grace at work, they will not feel, okay, there is grace. Shall we continue to live in sin, that grace may abound? He said, no. He said, God forbid. And I like that word, God forbid. It means that it doesn't exist. But in reality, that's the state of the average believer. Yes, that's the state of the average believer. In reality, we give our life to Christ, but we still go back to the things that we were pulled out from, and we can respond to them at will. So many a times we enjoy the privilege of coming into the presence of God and to cry to God and say, have mercy on me, have mercy on me, I am weak. You are not as weak as you think. You are not as weak as you think. Because there is something at work, or there was something that took place the very moment you decided to follow Jesus. There was strength. Strength came to you. As a matter of fact, you are seated somewhere, because when Jesus died, resurrected, the Bible said that he ascended. And every one of us were seated with Christ in heavenly places, in the heavens. It's a location. There is a place where we are seated. So it's above, it's far from the reach of the works of the enemies. It's far. This thing I'm talking about now, this position now, it will help you even in the place of warfare. You may see everything happening at the same time, but because you know your position, and you know you are conscious of your walk with him, you will know that no matter what I see in the natural, in the spirit, I'm above it.